And so guess what, Sam? Not a word came from your wife. Haven't talked to her for years, but many years ago, she was best friends with my wife and would talk through things. And my wife eventually compiled a document for Michelle's good so that she has a record of these things and kind of the order in which they happen. All right, guys. So here we're going through it. AP, did I ever want to share this?
No.
Never wanted to share this. You guys have never heard any of this from me. But now, all right. What's he doing? Threatening. I'm going to expose you. What's he doing? I'm going through emails. So who's making the rule? We're exposing all the personal details and we're exposing all the messages, and that's him, right? That's his standard. That's his standard. He laid it down. Okay. I'm holding him to that standard. He can't stand it because the rules are for everyone else, not for him. All right, guys. So here's my wife's description of them starting their relationship up to 2015. Okay, so 2007, Michelle, who was an atheist at the time, I believe, someone invited her to go to Sam's Bible studies. He actually persuades her to convert to Christianity. That's in 2007. They began dating in early 2008. So they started dating, guys. Here's the description. One day, he asked Michelle to tell him how many men she had been with. She shared her past with the thought that she was confessing to her spiritual mentor. In other words, this is the guy who led her to Christ. And so she shares her past with him. So she shared her past with the thought that she was confessing to her spiritual mentor. He was outraged at the thought that she had been with these other men and demanded she have sex with him, saying in these words, "If you don't have sex with me right now, then get out of my house." Michelle began crying on the bed and said, "I'm changed now. I don't want to have sex until I get married." Sam walked over to the bed, pulled down Michelle's pants while she was crying, and had sex with her while she was lying there passively and crying. AP, I want to know if you reacted to that the same way my wife did when she heard it. What do you call that?
Rape.
That's how my wife reacted to it. She's like, Michelle's like, yeah, I mean, she's telling her how, like, she's sharing with her how messed up things have been with Sam. And hey, he found out, I've been with other guys, and he told me, well, you have to do with me what you did with them. I said, but I'm a Christian now. I don't want to do that now. I don't want to do that to him. No, you have to.
Are you freaking serious?
Yep. This is the guy who threatens everyone to expose them. I keep all the dirt on you. It's what he just said. You just saw it. Someone needs to stand up to that. Do your worst, dude. Do your worst. But be a man and come at me, not after your ex-wife. Frickin' coward. Anyway. So he demanded she have sex with him. She said no. He pulled her pants down and cried the entire time that he had sex with her. Then what happened? The next day, he insulted her, saying that she was loose and he didn't want to be with her anymore. So, guys, just follow the pattern here, because it's sort of a big picture of everything he does. Uses the Bible to get you in, and oh wow, this guy's so knowledgeable and stuff like this, and then he uses it to control and abuse you. So the next day,
hold on a second. So according to this account, and you said this is what his ex-wife shared with your wife, and which you kept
when they were friends. Yep.
Until this. So
yeah. So keep in mind, they were married. They were married when my wife's finding out about this. They're married, right? So it's not like
according to her account. Mm-hmm. So he was married at that point. He was married at that point to her. So she was married, and
when she's telling my wife this stuff, yes.
When she told this story, and according to her account, before they were married, Sam asked her about how many men she had been with, and then told her that she has to have sex with him too. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to.
She said no.
So he forced her and raped her. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep. Keep your insults to yourself. We don't need them. Not going to help anything. And we've got more to go through. So the next day he insulted her, saying she was loose and he didn't want to be with her anymore. After he had sex with her, he didn't want to be with her anymore. Right? He said that men should be warned away from her. He said he's gonna go tell men to stay away from her because, hey, she's easy. She laid there and let me pull her pants off. He said that men should be warned away from her, and Michelle, being afraid of having her past exposed by Sam and humiliated, and of being ostracized by the Assyrian community, and believing that she had no other choice in a life partner but to be with Sam since he was the first person she had sex with since becoming a Christian, begged Sam to stay with her. The verbal abuse began to get worse. Sam would call Michelle whore. This is before they're married. The verbal abuse began to get worse. Sam would call Michelle whore and daughter of Satan. Does that sound like something Sam would do? Calling horrible names, horribly hurtful names. Through this, Michelle tried to leave him and break up. She eventually realized this is toxic. Maybe I shouldn't be with this guy. Through this, Michelle tried to leave him and break up. One of those times was May 25th, 2008. She had already broken it off, but he kept pestering her with phone calls. Finally, Michelle gave in because he persuaded her that God wanted them to be together. You see this? You see what he does? Michelle gave in because he persuaded her that God wanted them to be together and that Satan was speaking through her family and friends to prevent this. Her family and friends were saying, you need to get away from this guy. This guy is toxic. Get away from him. What does he do? He convinces her that Satan was speaking through her family and friends to prevent their marriage. He told her, take a step of faith, Michelle. Take a step of faith. You got to have faith in him. That in spite of everyone telling you this guy's seriously screwed up and you need to be as far away from him as possible, he convinced her you got to have faith. Got to have faith, and it's God's will for us to be together. Everyone ready? Michelle's family did not approve of the relationship, and Sam began to feed into Michelle's mind that her family were not true Christians and did not have her best interests at heart. He would belittle all of her acquaintances and tell Michelle about all their sins. They come to Sam as a spiritual mentor. Sam's the spiritual mentor. What's he doing? He's saying, you can't trust this person. This person's evil. This person, you know what this person has done.
Pause. I want to remind everybody about what Sam has said for years about your wife, David. I want to remind everybody, and lots of people might have heard this, because Sam seems to be for some reason obsessed with David's wife, whom I have met, who is a wonderful person. But Sam has repeatedly over the years said that David's wife is the best woman ever, that she's an angel, that she's a saint, that she's pure, that she's wonderful, that she's absolutely amazing, that she's the best woman one can wish for. No idea how she ended up with David. That she's so fantastic, so awesome, so beautiful, so this, so that. He couldn't stop praising your wife, David, as a saint, as a wonderful woman to trust and to rely upon. And she's delivering us this.
Yep. And so, I'm getting tons of messages like this. He's trying to take the stream down by flagging it with his cult. He's telling everyone, go flag the stream. So guys, if this stream comes down, you know what happened. He was successful in flagging it, and he's got his drones. All right, let's continue until it gets taken down, because Sam doesn't want this exposed. Guess what? Too late, dude. Too late. You started it.
I'm a new Christian. I'm in no position to make such judgment but from my observation, and God forgive me, I don't believe that this guy is a Christian.
That's what my wife thinks, and he always, she's so great. He tries to contact me through her. She don't even believe he's a Christian. She believes he's a total fake because of his behavior that she's aware of. Oh, by the way, let me know if the stream cuts out or something, because sometimes apparently people don't even notice and they keep talking for an hour and stuff. He would belittle all of her acquaintances and tell Michelle about all of their sins. So Michelle felt that she couldn't trust any of those people and was very isolated. Sam convinced Michelle that they needed to get married. He said that a true Christian would get married within 6 months of the beginning of the relationship. They were married at the courthouse they got the date there. Verbal abuse continued after marriage. He called her and continues to call her slut, whore, cunt, nasty bitch, wicked bitch, filthy human being, Satan, child of Satan, daughter of Satan, demon, and many similar epithets, as well as the Assyrian language equivalents. Does that sound like Sam, guys? Yep. Does anyone believe that? No, not Sam. Sam would never say things like that about other people, right?
So whoever complained, let me say, you're a pig, you're an animal, you're a beast, you're a dirty dog, and you're good for nothing to be destroyed and sent to hell. Wallahi, Khalid Habib, my goal is to get your mother and piss on her and get the Shia to rape that whore, and then also sodomize you, you filthy dog. So
Sam
what's your background,
like
Augustine, besides your mother being a dirty whore? Shut your...
Sam doesn't use these terrible insults to keep people from messing with him, right?
Before I get your mother to mount your uncle again. Stupid little bastard. He's manifesting like his mother when the Shia mount her. Yeah, I think Redvan is confusing with his father. He used to beat the snot out of his mother after his father used to mount him.
I just played a little bit of that, guys. Why? Because my wife wrote this 10 years ago. She wrote this 10 years ago. It's exactly what we see from Sam now. So it'd be kind of weird if she's just making this up or someone's making this up when it's exactly what we always see from the guy, right? He accused her of being wicked, of being used by Satan to destroy his ministry and all his work. He's the victim. Satan is using you to destroy my ministry. He would mock her and say that no other man would ever want to be with her. Catching this? He would mock her and say that no other man would ever want to be with her, that being with her was punishment. Occasionally, he would apologize and say that he wanted to get along better, but it was back to the same abuse within days. She would ask him for spiritual guidance, and he would insult her intelligence and belittle her. He would say, okay, let me stoop down to your level and explain it to you. While pregnant with their first daughter, Michelle continued working full-time and doing all the household chores and management with no assistance from Sam. The fighting and verbal abuse continued. Their first daughter was born in 2010. Their second daughter was born in 2012. Sam was not emotionally supportive during the pregnancies, but rather more argumentative. I can verify a bunch of this. And he was not even present for the second daughter's birth. I can verify that. She actually had some problem where I think she had like kidney stone or gallstone, something like that. She was like, this was happening while she's giving birth. She's in like horrible agony and so on. And Sam was teaching her a lesson by not even being there for the daughter's birth.
You know, Sam, I may have been terrible. I may have made wrong choices. I may have gone about things in the wrong way. But I sure as hell never did such things to another person. And I repent. I want to be better. Nobody should take me as an example. Everybody should be more like Christ. But you sure sound more like Muhammad and more like the devil. You absolute piece of filth.
But no, Sam wouldn't do this. He's not an abusive sort of person.
David Wood thinks he's smart. Let me tell you what a dastardly Satan this spiritual bastard is. You stupid, dumb little bastard. No disrespect to bastards. Maybe AP, that effeminate Turkish fag, will come and lay hands on you. The stupid fat cow. No, it was by your mother being a Shia prostitute in Iran. Shut the hell up, you stupid bastard.
He was not even present for the second daughter's birth. He was in the area, just refused to come there. He continued to verbally abuse Michelle in front of their children, even worse than before. If any friends, here's the key, if any friends and family, again, this was written 10 years ago, before we see how Sam is right now. If any friends and family were involved, he would belittle and demonize Michelle. If these intervening pastors, friends, and counselors tried to correct Sam about his behavior and treatment of Michelle, Sam would chase them out of the house. The only people he allowed in a discussion were those who agreed with him that Michelle was unsaved and being used by Satan, and therefore to blame the one who's to blame for their arguments. Catch that? Anyone who says, Sam, you're wrong, boom, you're gone. Anyone who says, Sam, you're right, you poor guy. Yes, yes, yes. Come, let's gather around and tell my wife what an evil, terrible person she was. Now, does that sound like Sam? Like, can't handle a word of criticism and flips out? But, if you agree with him, then you're fine. Does that sound like Sam?
Stupid dumbass. Let me tell you why, David, you're a stupid fat bastard. You're too much of a narcissistic, sociopathic scum, tool of Satan, to humble yourself and seek reconciliation. No, you stupid bastards. You fake bastards, sons of Satan that think you're Christian and pious, that condemn me. So come on up, you little prostitute, you whore of Satan. You're a slut of Satan. You dumb, stupid, satanic bastard. You scum. Okay, you son of a whore. You son of a whore. But the dumb, demonic bastard manifests. Now get the hell out of here. That...
Again, I told Sam, I don't remember the exact year or anything, but probably between 2005 and 2010. I noticed back then he would attack anyone who disagreed, tried to correct him on anything, and threatened to destroy them. And then he would only allow yes men. So it's the exact same thing we saw. That it's the same thing his wife mentioned, and the same thing I saw back then, and the same thing we see now. I told him back then, I said, there was he worked in this little center, like he had a little office in the center where he'd write articles. And I told, there was one guy in the center named Billy who like always had his back and always took his side, no matter how obviously wrong Sam was, like no matter how disgusting it was, he would always side with Sam. And I said, Sam, eventually you're just going to have a bunch of Billies around you and no one's ever going to be able to correct you. And they're going to be cheering for you. And your behavior is going to get worse and worse and worse because you only surround yourself with yes men who praise you no matter how terrible your behavior is. And you drive away and then threaten into silence anyone who disagrees with you. You will end up becoming a worse and worse person. And of course, I'll expose you. I'll destroy you if you ever say this. In early 2013, Sam began to pretend Michelle was attacking him whenever they would have an argument. He would walk over to the window while Michelle was standing on the other side of the room, about 15 feet away, and he would loudly shout phrases such as, "Don't hurt me! Stop abusing me! Don't throw that at me! Police, police, somebody help me!" This is what he would do. What is this? He's letting her know, if you ever cross me or try to divorce me, I will have witnesses of the neighbors who heard me shouting, "Police, police, she's attacking me." This is how he operates. Around this time, Michelle began to notice that Sam would read her password-protected messages and emails. So he would figure out her passwords and then read all her messages and emails. He would track her on Facebook and go into her account to read her messages and monitor her activities. Then he would confront her with the things he had discovered. He falsely and repeatedly accused her of cheating on him, even though she had not at this time. He told her how he longed. Catch this, guys. He told her how he longed to find nude pictures or sex videos of her on the internet from some previous boyfriend. He told her how he longed to find nude pictures or sex videos of her on the internet so he could justify how he treated her and prove what a slut she was. He would text her constantly whenever she left the house or when she went to work until it got so bad that she had to block him from texting and calling her phone at times. She also, back then, like in one of the times where he'd be nice to her, she'd be all happy and she'd be messing around. Oh, he's super nice. He's super nice. He's super nice. And I'm thinking, dude, don't fall for this. Don't fall for this, girl. Do not fall for this. She said, hey, we're getting along really well now. And he wants some naked pictures of me. And I'm like, no, that is not him wanting nude pictures. I don't care if a guy has nude pictures of his wife, but that was not him wanting nude pictures of her. That was, hey, if you ever leave me, I will post these all over the internet. I'll send them to the entire Assyrian community. So do not think that you can leave me. Everything with him is getting leverage so that he can threaten you with destruction if you ever abandon him. In 2014, the verbal abuse continued getting worse. By this time, Michelle had deleted her social media accounts, such as Facebook and Instagram, hoping to improve their relationship and demonstrate her fidelity. Sam's texting and calling was nonstop. If Michelle tried to block him from her phone, he would call her at work and insist to speak. Did you catch this? can I vouch for this? If Michelle tried to block him from her phone, so he couldn't just keep calling her. If Michelle tried to block him from her phone, he would call her at work and insist to speak with her, even pretending to be a different person. And so you have to answer him, right? You can't have someone just repeatedly calling your work and so on. So you have to answer him. What happens when I block him from my phone? He emails me. What happens when I block him from there? He contacts me on social media. What happens when I block him from there? He goes to my wife. He doesn't let you say you don't want to hear from him. You're not allowed. He would track her whereabouts through their phones and enlist his friends to follow her as well. But he's not a stalker. It's all Christ-like, according to him. Michelle's brother began visiting their home in February 2014, and Sam became his spiritual teacher and advisor. In the next several months, Michelle's relationship with her brother began deteriorating, which also increased the tension between Michelle and her mother. Here we go. You guys want to know the background of the him punching her in the face. Here's the background. During a friend's visit, it leads up to this. During a friend's visit to their home in August 2014, Michelle and her friend were out of the house, and Sam repeatedly texted and called Michelle until she blocked him from her phone. Sam sent a threatening text message about Michelle to the friend on August 28th, 2014, which said, "Tell her to drop her nasty attitude before I rearrange her nasty face." I'll quote that again. He texted to her friend because she blocked him. So he contacted through her friend. That's what he does. I can verify. "Tell her to drop her nasty attitude before I rearrange her nasty face." Clearly, this was not an empty threat, and the threats soon escalated to violence. On Thanksgiving, here's the situation. Here's the beating. On Thanksgiving, while having dinner at Michelle's mother's house. So she's at Michelle's family's house. While having dinner at Michelle's mother's house, Sam made continuous veiled insinuations about her ex-boyfriend to aggravate her by making her appear to be a slut in front of her family. Michelle's brother gave her disgusted looks throughout the meal, while Sam humiliated her. On the drive home after the dinner, she began crying and demanding to know why Sam would do this to her in front of her family. He denied doing anything wrong and began mocking her and ridiculing her as she drove the car, until she was so distressed and provoked that she reached over to give a yank at his beard but missed. He retaliated to her missed attempt at tugging his beard by grabbing a fistful of her hair, violently yanking her head back, and punching Michelle's right eye while she was driving the car and in full view of their two sobbing and screaming daughters. I have multiple pictures of the black eye. Little side note. A little after this, he started acting super nice again, and we're in love, I'm so sorry, I'm a changed man, and convinced her to delete the pictures. Yeah, as a show of trust that we love each other, you got to delete those pictures of your messed up face after I busted you in your eye. When she eventually went for the divorce, she had to actually ask my wife for pictures because she didn't have any. She had deleted everything that had any record of that happening.
I want to pause here. So first off, David has the photos. Secondly, Sam himself admitted on the record, in text, per email, and also otherwise, that this did indeed happen. That he did indeed hit and punch his then wife. Of course, he started making excuses for it. But how it happened, how he lost his cool, and she was reaching for him, as a result of which he punched her in the face. But this is the backstory of it. So don't doubt that this happened. It absolutely did happen, even according to Sam himself. He, this fat guy, beat his tiny, thin wife by punching her in the face because she wouldn't behave. That's it.
And
this guy doesn't deserve a platform. He deserves to be forgotten forever. Forever, really.
And let me ask the ladies out there. Let me ask the ladies out there, because I know what Sam would. I know the things Sam would say to constantly humiliate, and there's a purpose in it, right? The goal is to make you feel worthless so that you never feel like there's anywhere to go apart from just doing what he says, right? He wants to degrade you so that you never think you are worthy enough of not being under his complete control. He would have sex with her and he would say, yeah, when we have sex, I can't even feel anything because you're so loose from guys you had sex with before we got married. I can't even feel anything when we have sex because you're so loose because you had sex before we got married. He would say that. Michelle had some sort of condition where a baby, when she's pregnant, a baby would descend sooner than normal. Sam would tell her that it's because she's so loose because she had sex with other guys before him. She's so loose she can't even keep a baby inside her. The baby will fall out. It's a medical condition, right? He's saying, oh, it's because you had sex with all these guys. You can't even hold a baby in you anymore. This is how he would talk to her. You ladies who are watching, if your husband said, hey, you had sex with men before me. You're so loose whenever we have sex, I can't even feel anything. And you can't even hold a baby inside you because you're so loose because you had sex with guys before me. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not even offensive at all, 10 being like the most evil, hurtful thing he could possibly say to you as a woman, how would you rate that? How would you rate your husband saying that kind of thing to you? Would it be like the most degrading thing he could say? That would be a 10, or would it be, he's just a harmless banter?
Oh, David.
What?
I know you don't want to share this, but
what?
Here's Sam's live stream right now.
What's that? Oh, he shared the picture? Why is he sharing the picture, man?
I don't know. He actually shared the photo of him beating his wife.
Yep, that's
one. To find a way
again.
To find a way to defend it, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so ladies are responding. I asked them how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how degrading that would be for your husband to say those kinds of things with you. Let's check out some of the responses. Claire says, the comments are going by super fast. Claire says 10. Oh my goodness. I can't even click on comments. The comments are coming by so fast. This is going to be tricky to actually, I'm seeing 10, but I can't keep up with them. By the time I go to click on it, they're moving past 10. I asked scale of 1 to 10. How degrading and hurtful would that be? 1 million. This. More than 10. 10. 8 billion. 10 million. So, guys, and everyone's posting this. That's what.
By the way, I want to clarify one thing for all the creeps and bastards like Sam Shamoun. I'm sorry for saying this, but he's one of those people who spread this myth and who also cause abuse against women like this to be perpetuated. He clearly loves it, but a woman doesn't actually get loose by having more sex. That's a complete myth. It's a way of attacking people. Guys, do we believe? Yeah. Do we believe that Sam goes with the absolutely most despicable attacks on people that he's trying to control?
Jake, that fat cow bastard, and his cow boyfriend, Orthodox lesbian. What the fudge is going on? She are mounting your whore mother because you're a whore like your mother.
Sam wouldn't.
And they fudge you and her, you filthy bastard whore. Prostitute.
Sam would
that
never
you
do
are.
this.
Your uncle's mounting you right now, you filthy lowlife.
Sam
Stupid
talk
bastard.
to like
What are you going to do now, you satanic bastard? I'm David Wood, and you got to follow my script. Yeah, you stupid bastard. No, you're a whore like your mother. You're a whore like your mother, brother. Go find who your father is, because it took 20 Shia to birth you. The Bible calls out whores.
He wouldn't talk to his wife, mean.
Your mothers for being whores. You're a whore, brother. You're a whore. You're a bastard. You're a coward. I'd spit on you, but my spit is better than you. Because, Mango, they're all whores, sons of whores. Because your whore mother likes bald heads to rub her bald ass, because you're a whore like your mother. And you like your bald uncle because he mounts you because you're a whore like your mother.
Yeah, Sam wouldn't talk like this, guys. All right, let me go ahead and finish this up real quick. Afterwards, Michelle began looking into divorce proceedings, but Sam convinced her that everything would be fine and they would go to counseling and things would change. He also convinced her that it was ungodly for Christians to go to court against each other and that God would punish her for divorcing him. He's still threatening her with that. There's a difference between being concerned that someone is actually following the Bible and someone who just uses the Bible as a weapon. That's what Sam does. It's a tool to draw people to him and develop his cult, and it's a weapon against everyone else. Hoping that visiting a professional counselor would change the situation, Michelle stayed with him. However, it wasn't long before Sam began mocking the injuries he had caused her, mocking her for punching her in her face. It wasn't long before Sam began mocking the injuries he had caused her. In January 2015, Sam began making taunts about future assaults, saying, "Do you want me to even out your eyes? Come here so I can even out your face. I want to hit you so bad if it weren't for the consequences." Recently, well, this is recently in 2015, Sam also has been attempting to brainwash the children. He tells one that Mama is evil and needs prayer. He also continuously loses patience with their youngest daughter. When he can't tolerate her strong-willed behavior, Sam curses and uses words such as motherfucker, which she now repeats after hearing it from her father so often. He continues to lie about Michelle to their friends. Last week, the baby threw the computer charger and damaged it. Last week, the baby threw the computer charger and damaged it. But Sam sent an email to friends saying that Michelle had thrown it on the floor in a fit of uncontrollable rage. Since Michelle has taken action to get a divorce, Sam has been telling Michelle that he will do everything he can to make this as nasty as possible. And here we are 10 years later, and he's still making it as nasty as possible and threatening to destroy her and telling her that God is going to destroy her.
Filth.
That's
Filth.
dude.
Absolute filth.
Not this guy.
Mother
though, right?
doesn't complain about bald asses rubbing her bald face and bald heads rubbing her bald ass. You prostitute. Bring your mother out of the darkness of being a whore like your grandmother and stop letting your uncle molest you and mount you because you're a whore. Are you his whore? Because I think you're his whore. Because I think Lesbiano mounts your mother and sleeps with her. The same Muslims that fudge your mother? I didn't know that. Can you go to that faggot and tell him come on my stream? Hey, faggot, I know he mounts you and your mother. Here's the link. Orthodox faggot. Come on, faggot. Come on, fag boy. Only Orthodox Lesbiano, your mother's.
Anyway, guys, that's Sam. That's Sam. That's a guy who becomes so insanely deranged when anyone abandons him that he keeps attacking them, even if it's a person who could bring all this out at any given point. That's what Sam does.